Hello, class. Um, how are you? So, 4th and 5th grade this week, you guys will have word language with me, and I will go over the assignment. This is a pre-recorded lesson that basically explains to you what do you need to do. Now, the first thing I'm sharing here, Miss Cronshaw's class, but it's basically the same for whether you are with Mr. Snyder or Miss B in 5th grade. um, so let's go here. You click on classwork, and um, I will discuss the assignment here. So the assignment is places of work and profession. And now, if you see here, this is a Nearpod presentation. So it's coming out. Okay, here it goes. So you join the session. You will click here, join the session. And here is the, lugares de trabajo en profesiones. So it's basically what it's saying here. It's places of work and occupation. So that's the objective. So now I know some of you were like telling me yesterday, well, this whole thing is in Spanish. Well, that's the language that we are trying to learn. That's the language that we are trying to practice. So let me give you just simply a brief of what it is. So, comencemos means let's start. This is palabras para aprender. So, these are the words that we are going to learn. This is review. This is practice. Now, this one, of course, it's a talking with, a partner. Uh, this is something that right now we cannot do because of you probably are not in a classroom, because of what is going on. But we have, you can just simply, hit play on this and just simply try to repeat the words that you are hearing. And this is show what you just learned. So this is the final part where you will pretty much will have sort of like um, to take sort of like a multiple choice exercise. So in here, this is basically the objectives. We are going to try to understand the significance and the meaning of the new words and phrases and use those phrases to elicit a conversation, to come out with a conversation. So comencemos mean let's start. So I go here and so basically we are going to learn about the places where people work and some of the professions, some of the jobs that people do in a city. So let's see the different images here. So if you look at it, this, es un doctor. So you see es un doctor, and if it's un doctor, what is the place where that person work? In un hospital. So, you guessed it, you are un doctor, most likely work in un hospital. Now, let's see this place. This place say hotel. So, in hotel, you might have somebody like this. In Espanol, that word is el botones, the bellhop. So it's a person that works in a hotel and it helps you, you know, with your luggage. Uh, then if you go to the next image, you see this is a waiter. And so a waiter works um, in a restaurant, in un restaurante. If you go to the next image, sorry, you see this person might work in an office. So this person might work in an office. And you see here, it's a banco. No, so this is a bank. So this person works in a bank, in un banco. So basically, we are going to be learning about um, 4 professions and 4 places. Some of the places as you can see, have very similar, um, you know, you can recognize that these are cognates. We have been talking about it. These are words that are very similar in English and in Spanish. Like hospital is basically the same spelling. It's pronounced a little bit different. Instead of saying hospital in Espanol, you say hospital. This one, it's very similar how it's spelled. You say restaurante. This one has also a very similar spelling. Instead of bank, you say banco. So let's see what are the. So in here, you can play the video and it will tell you the words. So el contador, so you see here, el contador, it's an accountant. So you got accountants in different places, like in this case, en un banco. You can have un contador en un banco. So el contador trabaja means work in the bank. So el contador trabaja en el banco. Él cuenta el dinero. So he counts the money, el dinero. We go to the next one. And you have here la doctora, ¿no? La doctora trabaja, works en el hospital. Ella, so ella, that means she. Receta means prescribe medicine. There are certain medications that you need a prescription from a doctor. Now, let's see the next one. It's el camarero. So, él es el camarero. El camarero trabaja en un restaurante. So, el camarero, él serve la comida, the food. Now, notice that the ones in highlighted are actually the words that, you will be working on later on in the presentation. Then you have el botones. El botones trabaja en el hotel. So, él ayuda, he helps with con el equipaje. So you see, this is equipaje. Equipaje is luggage. You get the next slide. Vamos a repasar. So this means let's go and review what you just saw. So it's basically telling you to try to repeat, read it aloud. So el contador trabaja en el banco. Él cuenta el dinero. So you have these 4 slides here that is basically asking you to read it out loud. Then this has the section to practicar, a practicar. So a practicar means practice. Now, this is a section that is a little bit tricky, and it's not tricky because the section is difficult. It's basically is asking you to write down here, write down what you have here into the spaces provided. So it's a little bit, you kind of like will have to play around with the how to do it. So you go click in here. So if you see it say type your text here. So I do this. So the last one that needs to be done is it's about the doctor prescribe the medicine. So if I can check my what do I need to there. So I have to say la doctora. So I have to say this one. Ella receta las medicinas. So I just simply type in here. Ella receta las medicinas. So now what I have to do is basically move it in here. And there it is. So that's the only one that, it will probably, you will have to play around. As I say, you can look at in here and you have the sentences that you have to write in there. And then you hit submit. So the next one is it's kind of like the same one. So you have it in here, the sentences that you will have to write, got in there. So let's go to the next one. So it's a the page looks blank. Please submit the drawing before. Got it. I guess it will not let me. Yeah. So I'm gonna submit it, or let me just do one. So let's see this one. So this one is the el botones um, trabaja en el hotel. So let's do that one then. So I click here text. I'm gonna use this one so it's legible. So I'm gonna type el botones trabaja en el hotel. Now I come and try to drag it to what it needs to be. So that's why I said that it's kind of like a little bit of tricky to do this. Okay, I think that should be fine. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. So I'm gonna go to the next one, a conversar. So this one, you can hit the play button, and you can hear the dialogue. And if you want to repeat it, so you will practice the pronunciation. Now, so here you have the work bank of what we have been basically going through this presentation. You have el contador, that means the accountant, la doctora, that means the doctor, el camarero is it's the waiter, el botones is the bellhop, and these are the places where these people work, and these are the actions that they do. Of course, el contador cuenta dinero, the doctor prescribes medicine, the waiter serves food, and the bellhop helps you with your luggage. So now, this is the section where you will have to show what you have learned. And so you got this quiz. And so so if you look at the image, what is this person doing? So that's the accountant, no? So it's el contador trabaja en el banco. Is that true or false? So it is true, no? Now, see this next one, and it's observe the image and respond. Now, this is a doctor, and like la doctora, and we see en el hospital. But see what the sentence is saying. It's el camarero trabaja en el restaurante. So this image does not correspond to the sentence. So it is falso. Now, so basically that's what you will be doing. So now, when I did it the first time, I just simply read the phrase, and no, that's not how it's supposed to be done. You basically will have to look at the phrase, but then look at the image and see if the image matches the phrase, the sentence. So it say la doctora trabaja en el hospital, but you see this image, it's not a doctora trabaja en el hospital. This is a waiter working on a restaurant. So this should be falso. So guys, I will not do the whole thing because this is basically the section where you will have to um, show your understanding of the lesson. I'm gonna go back to um, this, and once you finish, you basically submit it. I have somebody that already sort of like turned it in. Now, so remember, we have 4 occupation in 4 places, and we have 4 sentences that shows what those people do. Now, It's almost 11:30, so I'm gonna go and open my Google Classroom. If you have any question about the assignment, don't hesitate to contact me. You have until next Monday to submit this assignment. As I said, I will have my Google Classroom open from in a few minutes until 2:30. If you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me.